MacVoices Holiday Gift Guide number 2, Part 2. This is MacVoices. Today's MacVoices is supported by MacVoices Featured Gear, like the Rolling Square inCharge X portable keychain charger cable. This 6-in-1 cable lets you connect almost anything to anything with both data transfer and charging capabilities, and is designed to have on your keyring, ready to go anywhere, anytime. Find the links and more information at macvoices.com/featured gear. All one word, featured gear. Welcome to MacVoices. This is the talk of the Apple community, and I'm Chuck Joyner. This is the second part of MacVoices Holiday Gift Guide number 2. We're going to go right back and let the panel continue to make their picks.
Pretty cool. And speaking of practical, I'm going to be boring. There's no personal retreats. There's no magic cereal in this pick. And this pick even comes in a suitably boring black case. But that is because this is actually possibly one of my favorite gadgets ever. This is the ESR 3-in-1 MagSafe charger. And this is a great charger because the two parts that you need to take with you, the other part is a cable and the plug, which also come in the pack. They're this big. That's it. That is this. So this folds open, the black part folds open so that you have somewhere to MagSafe your phone onto the front. And you can MagSafe your phone portrait or landscape, so you can take advantage of the standby mode in iOS 17. But behind this MagSafe section, you've got an extra Qi charging spot for something like your AirPods. And then there's this little USB-C port. And that might seem a little bit weird, but it comes with this little white puck, which you can take the magnetic cover off the bottom, and it sticks onto the top so that you don't lose it. And then you can just plug it in, and bam, you've got a watch charger, AirPods charger, and phone charger all in one. And this folds up to something that you can fit into your pocket next to your iPhone type thing. And this is absolutely great for travel because it means that you've definitely got a way to charge all of your devices whilst only taking up one USB-C port. And I have to say, this is possibly one of my favorite things. And if you've got something like I've got an ESR case on my AirPods Pro, then they MagSafe to the front as well. And that's not going anywhere. So yeah, have to say, I absolutely love this. It's a very boring shade of black, but you know what? I don't mind. It's great. And also this watch part can also just plug into a USB-C port on like a battery pack or a charging brick so that you can just plug in this to charge your watch at any point if you want to or need to. You don't have to plug the whole thing in. So yeah, that's my next pick, the ESR stuff. Their Halo lock range is really great. It is very sticky on the MagSafe front, but sticky in a good way.
Very nice. I like how compact. Once again, it's one of those that everything folds up into something that is very manageable for your pack or purse or whatever.
Yeah.
But then can reconnect or unfold to do what you want it to do.
Yeah. The brick that it comes with, I mean, I've got the UK version here, obviously, and these could be used as weapons, possibly. You don't want to stand on one of these things ever. They're very, very, very painful. The only thing more painful is one made of Lego. But the brick isn't super compact, and neither is the charging cable. But equally, you can use any USB-C charging cable and any charging brick with a USB-C out on it. The charging brick that comes with this is 5-volt 3 amp 20 watts. So you're going to be able to just use anything else. I tend to use my Minix chargers with this, and it works great. And then I have the advantage of always having a phone charging solution with me that doesn't take up a lot of space and charges everything else I need as well.
Nice pick.
That's amazing.
Nice pick. Yeah. And ESR is one of those names that has sort of started to rise to the top in the last year or so. During conversations, they make some really, really great stuff.
Yeah, their Cryo Boost stuff is really cool as well. I have one of their Cryo Boost chargers here on my desk. I have one in my living room that's got the extra 100 watts of output for my laptop, and I've got one in the car. And so that means that when you put your phone on it, as well as it charging it, it also cools it. So it's a cooling charger all in one system, which is just really amazing.
Very nice. Joe?
Well, Rose, see, now you've caused me a problem because I could either do the pick that is going to stay with my theme that I was planning on, or I could do my next pick that sort of goes with what you just said. Life is full of hard decisions. I'm gonna stay with the ring theme. This is my key ring, and you know, it has car key, house key, bike key, but it also has this, and this is what my next pick is. So I am proud to say that I own one of the world's largest collections of IKEA Allen wrenches. I have purchased and assembled an insane number of IKEA objects that come with little wrenches, and so I have a bunch of them in different shapes, sizes, colors. But I find that I never have one when I need one, like when I'm riding my bike and the brakes need adjustment, or the little, you know, like a little like headlight or a clamp or something on my bike needs to be changed. Of course, I'm not going to have an Allen wrench in my pocket. But this is a 4mm hex key on one end and just a flat screwdriver on the other end. It's made by a company called K20, and they make a whole bunch of these things. Do you need different size hex wrenches? Do you need a flat and a Phillips? Do you need like the little gadget to remove the cores from bike valves? They got those. And they're a whole bunch of these different things. They're very hard steel. They're just over an inch long. And there's a hole in the middle that you can put them right on your key ring. So they weigh nothing. They take up no space. And if you have an urgent need to, you know, assemble a desk that somehow didn't come with an Allen wrench, or you know, something is loose, you know, this for me, this 4mm size is just right. Now they actually sell this for photographers. That's their target market for this particular model, because apparently a lot of like tripod mounting plates and stuff use that same size. I haven't encountered it in my own photographic uses, but I believe them. But if you are a photographer or a cyclist, or do anything else that might involve a need for some odd size thing, because like, you know, I have a Swiss Army knife in my pocket too. But this does not contain a 4mm hex wrench. It's just one of those specialized things that sometimes you need that, and that's the only thing that will do the trick. And they're like, I don't know, they're $9. So if you have a key ring, it comes with a key ring, but if you have a key ring and you ever need a 4mm or other size hex key, get one from K20 Tools.
I love this. Even if I just got a flat screwdriver and a Phillips and have it with me all the time, because inevitably it seems like there's something small that I'm not sure I would want to tackle a desk with it, but there's always something that I need. And then you got to go to the basement and find the toolbox and dig out, you know, a screwdriver, when what you really need is about 4 twists and you're done.
Yep.
So nice pick, Joe. Nice pick. You like the little things this time.
I love the stocking stuffers. I'm all about the small stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. But I also interpret that now we don't have a loop for the 4th pick, but that's my guess.
I mean, it would be a stretch. It would be a stretch. Okay. Sometimes a theme will only take you so far.
Mike, round 3.
All right. I'm going to share a gift that I actually received last year. And when I got it, I was a little bit confused by it. Over time, I have grown to love it. That is the ShiftCam ProGrip. This is essentially like a camera grip that you can put your phone into. And then it has Bluetooth, so you can use the button on the grip to start and stop and video and take pictures and things with your iPhone. Why do you want to use this? Well, the practical application of this, I think, is if you are doing any sort of video creation, you might have a need for some B-roll video. And starting with the action mode in the iPhone 14 and with the iPhone 15, it's even better. The iPhone is the perfect tool to shoot video with. I've gotten into YouTube the last several months, and I use this now all the time to shoot my B-roll. My wife helps me, and she has a photography background. We used to do this with the DSLR cameras, and you've got the tripods and you set things up on the sliders, and like all that gear is like thousands and thousands of dollars. And the truth is now you can take an iPhone and even get a moving shot with that action mode and export that. And it's not, I have a 14 Pro that I use it with, so it's not the full 4K, but all my YouTube stuff is exported at 1080p anyways. So it's still giving me more than enough to work with. I don't have to worry about any of the settings in Logic with trying to figure out how to eliminate all of the shake. It just makes it so simple. And there is a big upgrade from using this grip to shoot your video than just holding your phone in front of you. And yeah, you could be like the mom on that commercial and run along the sidelines like that. But I'm always terrified that I'm going to drop my phone, even though I've got a case on it. I don't want to do that. And this grip it's just like a normal like DSLR type camera where it's got the grip that is designed to be held by a human. And so you can have that. You don't need any other like fancy gear with it. The company makes some different lenses and things that you can put on your iPhone as well too. But the cameras, honestly, on the camera are already great. And so this grip, I feel like you could use this for photography or video, but specifically if you're going to be shooting video, whether that is for a B-roll for a YouTube channel or you just want to shoot video of your holiday get together with your family, walking around the room holding your phone in this feels much more secure, and the quality of the video that you get is going to be much higher. But yeah, a little bit expensive for just a grip, right, and a button that you can use to start and stop your video. But if you're going to be shooting a lot of video, you'll definitely get your money's worth with this.
I got the Snap Grip bundle, which isn't quite the same as the ProGrip. It MagSafes onto the back of your phone, but I really love that. So I can imagine the ProGrip is even better. The Snap Grip bundle comes with like a little light and a tripod that your phone MagSafes to as well, which is really cool. But yeah, so I love their stuff. It's really good.
And Mike, I think you hit on something. The only thing that the iPhone shape is not good for is holding and taking video. I mean, it's great to do some simple little shots or stills, but with video, yeah, you're going to be moving. At least most of the time, I think you're going to be moving, and it always helps to get some kind of grip, whether it's a cage or something like this. I really like this though because of what it says. It's going to feel like a DSLR grip a whole lot more than anything else. So
yeah, and if you want to go nuts with it, you can. It's got the cold shoe mount and all that kind of stuff. Rose is kind of alluding to that. Like if you wanted the light and the microphone and all that kind of stuff, like you could do that with this. But honestly, all you really need is this grip and an iPhone, and you can get some pretty great video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
very nice. Okay, something else from my wish list. Well, I'm going to pick for round 3 something I did a MacVoices briefing on. This is a backpack. This is the STM Goods Dux DUX backpack. I was given one of these to review at NAB and really was intrigued by it because it's the first backpack I've had that doesn't. It has one essentially huge pocket or space inside. It can be divided up with what they term, and I think I will term too, shelves, so that if you were holding the backpack in the upright position, you have shelves as opposed to pockets that you put things in. It opens from both sides so that I can open the left, I can open the right, I can open them both and access things from both sides of it, if with or without the shelves. this has been sort of a game changer. It has forced me to rethink how and what I carry and why I carry it and how to organize it. And so it can be tech or it cannot be tech. It's tech in the sense that it does have a very protective sleeve area for your laptop. And that sleeve is suspended off the ground. So if you drop your laptop on the ground, drop the backpack on the ground, you're not dropping the edge of your laptop down onto the hard concrete. So everything is suspended. It does have a few ancillary outside pockets, but they're not the kind that bulge out and then make the pack itself a whole lot bigger. They're intended as for smaller storage things. Anything big goes inside. But this can be repurposed for, it can be tech, it can be a weekend bag, it can be a whole lot of things. It does have a certain rigidity to it, with or without the shelves. And I was a bit pessimistic about that because I wasn't sure it was going to fit under an airline seat, because this thing is a very, very nice big backpack. I believe in big backpacks. But I took it on a trip. It fit under the seat of a regional jet with no trouble, as well as one of the major airline jets. So that issue is gone. It's super comfortable to carry. And it's just, if you're looking for a backpack, again, it's not inexpensive, but I don't mind spending money on things that protect the investment I've already made in a whole lot of tech. So the other nice thing too, I should mention is, I think I'm not sure who said it, but if something is black, it can get lost inside a backpack, because the inside of the backpacks are often black or dark, and they certainly are not illuminated. The fabric inside of this is light, so that you can find things as well, no matter how you're accessing it. So just a lot of nice little features. I'm a big fan of STM bags because they always seem to think things through. And if it fits what you want to do, then it fits it really, really well. I have a different STM bag that I've had for a lot of years that I only use for trade shows, because, and in fact, every time I show up at their booth, they laugh at me because the weather sealing is still intact on the zippers, because I just don't use it that frequently. But it's exactly what I need for a trade show. So if you're in the market for a backpack and you want something that can carry a lot of gear, or at least have space to carry a lot of gear, this is a great choice to think about and see if you like it.
Nice. Yeah. Speaking of protecting your devices, not losing your things is something that is a thing I have a problem with. I am managing to constantly misplace stuff. And Apple did release a Find My wallet, or a MagSafe wallet with Find My, but it didn't really have the Find My experience. It's you disconnected your wallet from your phone at this location. Great. There's no further information. Fortunately, I'm going back to ESR because ESR apparently have got my back right now. ESR have a Find My MagSafe wallet that is also a phone stand with a finger loop built in. And so this has a little magnetic charging point here on the back that works with the charger that it comes with. Obviously, it MagSafes to the back of my phone. And there's none of this shenanigans of, you left your wallet was detached from your phone at this location. No, when I use Find My, I can make this thing sing and dance. Not so much with the dancing, but there's definitely singing involved. It will beep very loudly to let me know when I tell it to make a sound. And I have the ability to get directions to it. It's not got the same tracking in that Apple's U1 stuff does, but none of the other Find My trackers have that either. This also has a little notch at the bottom, which you can slide your finger into to help you get your cards out. So this is just the back of my driver's license here. But that makes it really easy to get your cards and so on in and out. And I honestly just love this. It comes in a couple of different colors. It's in a nice vegan leather. So, it's hard wearing. I've been using this for months and it looks new. Like you cannot tell that I've been using this for months. And it comes in caramel, I think, and black, and a couple of others. But it's using their Halo Lock technology, which is basically MagSafe with extra sticky. So I'm, holding my phone up, shaking it via the loop on the wallet, and this thing is going exactly nowhere. It's great. So there we go. that's that. It honestly, it just works. And it means that I don't lose things. And look, to tie me into Joe, I brought a loop.
You're muted, Joe. You're muted, Joe.
Joe, your Zoom is muted.
Yeah. We see you enthusiastically endorsing Rosemary's pick, but
you'd think that I would know a thing or two about technology, but no, I'm defeated by a stupid button yeah. So anyway, I was saying thank you, Rose. Thank you for mentioning the loop. Because I was going to say that if you didn't. So that's great. I love the loops. My last pick is not loop related unless you really use your imagination. And it does kind of tie into Rose's charger thing. So I have heard from reliable sources that Santa is going to be bringing me a new 16-inch MacBook Pro this year. I know, Santa really likes me. Also, he doesn't have to travel so far here because Canada. But the laptop I have been using as my main laptop for a few years has been a MacBook Air. I love it a lot. It's adorable. It's adequately fast. It's very portable. But the time has come for more power and more connectivity and more everything. So when I get a new laptop, of course I have to think, okay, now does the case that I used to use fit the new laptop? Does the charger I used to use work with a new that kind of stuff? So I was going through that little calculus now, and I realized that the 16-inch MacBook Pro comes with this beefy 140-watt charger from Apple, which is fine, and it does the fast charging on that very big laptop. You can connect a smaller charger to it and it'll work, but it'll just charge a lot more slowly. And I don't own any chargers that are capable of 140-watt output. So I'm like, okay, well, I need to get a second one because usually I like to have like one at my desk and then another one available for when I'm like sitting in a chair or traveling or going someplace else. I want to have one that isn't sort of wired up behind my desk and all. So I was looking into other chargers, and of course Apple will sell you another one. But when I'm traveling, I want to charge not just my Mac, but also my iPhone and my watch and sometimes other stuff. So I was looking for, okay, what charger can I get that has that 140-watt USB fast charging power delivery and a couple more ports that I can use for some other electronics that I'm going to travel with. For me, like I need to charge my phone, I need to charge my watch. I don't generally travel with AirPods, so I don't really care about that as much. But I need to have at least those three things. And if what I'm going to be doing is just I'm going to plug stuff in overnight or whatever, then I don't care whether it has MagSafe or not. But if I'm going to have a charger in my bag that is going to charge my laptop, that's sort of everything else depends on that, because that's going to be the biggest one. So if I can get something that'll charge that and then has a couple more ports for other stuff and I use cables, that's okay with me. So I was looking on Amazon, and of course there are dozens, hundreds of chargers of every imaginable combination of ports and sizes and wattages, almost all of them from random Chinese manufacturers, because you know how this is. So I found one that ticks all the boxes and is made by, now I have to read this. Okay, made by NXPGKEA. Boy, that really rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Some random generic manufacturer, but this particular charger has it's small and it's compact. It's smaller than Apple's. Has a 140-watt high-speed charging port. Has another USB-C port and has a USB-A port. So it could be that one thing that meets all my needs. Also, It has little adapters, somewhat like Apple's chargers do. I mean, not exactly the same, but comparable. So I can pop off the US style plug and pop in an EU plug, or Great Britain, the kind that Rosemary showed. So if I'm traveling internationally, which I sometimes do, I can just have those little adapters with me. And on top of all that, it's like dirt cheap. It's it's $50. It's $50. So I don't have one yet because I haven't gotten the new laptop yet, but this is the one I'm planning to get. Will it last for more than a week? I don't know. Will it burn up in flames the first time I use it? Maybe. But it seems like a utilitarian thing that will meet that particular travel need for me. And if you take a USB-C cable, you can wind it into a loop. It can be a coil. It can be any sort of round shape that you want. So you could get that. So there we go. I'm going to read. This is Amazon calls it the 140 watt USB-C charger PD 3.1 3.GAN travel charger, wall charger, 140 watt USB-C power adapter for MacBook Pro 16-inch, MacBook Air M2, Dell XPS, iPad Pro, iPhone 14, Galaxy, Steam Deck, Type-C laptop, because that's how Amazon suppliers do their stupid product names. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Rose.
It's even purple.
Nice. I need to get me one of those. So, but depending on what particular Apple tech you need to power or charge, you might get a different model or a different manufacturer or something. But I just wanted just one charger that will do everything that I personally need. And this seems like it ought to fit the bill.
We'll wait to get an update later.
Yeah. I have something very similar. I've got the Minix 140 watt one, but that's got 3 USB-C ports on it.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So yeah, that it's currently unavailable on Amazon.com, but I purchased it over here from Amazon in the UK, and it's great.
Okay.
Very nice. Mike, this is it.
All right. Well, if you are getting a new 16-inch MacBook Pro, or you have a current MacBook Pro, or you have any Mac whatsoever, you probably have a use for more Thunderbolt ports. So I'm going to recommend the OWC Thunderbolt Hub, which is basically this small little dock that connects to your computer via a Thunderbolt cable, but then turns that single Thunderbolt port into 3 other Thunderbolt ports. It also gives you a USB-A in the front. I have one of these here at the office in my co-working space, and I've used the OWC Thunderbolt 4 dock, and before that the Thunderbolt 3 dock at home for a long time, and I like those a lot. They've always been great. It has pass-through power, so it's the single cable that you can plug your MacBook into. But the docks at home I've used with Mac Minis and things like that. They give you a whole bunch of other stuff, a whole bunch of other USB-A ports. They'll give you Ethernet. The older ones gave you like HDMI and DisplayPort, like basically any sort of port that you might need to plug something into. You can plug all those into the docks, and then you have the single cable that goes into your computer. Those are pretty expensive though. A lot of those are $400 plus, and this one is I think $130 on OWC's website right now. So if you have limited number of things that you need to plug into your computer, but you do want a single cable for a MacBook, or you just want to have more Thunderbolt ports, this will auto-magically replicate those ports for you, and you can connect 2 additional, I guess, Thunderbolt accessories to your Mac using this little guy.
I have one. I love it. Yeah. OWC makes great stuff. Which is a segue because, Mike, honestly, I did not plan this. My last pick is an OWC product. But
conspiracy.
Yeah, but this deserves a little explanation. This is, let me make sure I've put it in the chat here for you all. This is an OWC 0 gigabyte Mercury Elite Pro RAID drive or RAID case. Now, why am I recommending something like this? because it's basically only $95 and you can populate it with whatever size drives you want. It'll handle 2 drives. Okay. And I know somebody's going to say, well, RAID, that scares me. Don't let it scare you, because the way I want you to set it up is I want you to get 2 drives that'll give you the storage space you want. And then it's a very simple procedure to set it to RAID 1 via software. And what RAID 1 means is that the drives mirror each other. So instead of just buying one of these drives that, are made by major manufacturers, have one drive inside, and then you have to worry about, do I back it up or do I risk losing it? And there's one manufacturer that's been having some issues with some of these going bad. And of course, when they go bad, they go completely bad and you've lost your data. Here, you configure this. So let's just say I put 2 1 terabyte drives in. Okay, that means I'm only going to have 1 terabyte of storage. Even though I bought 2 terabytes, I've only got 1, but I've got it twice. So I've got it automatically backing up itself to the other drive. And that kind of redundancy is exactly what I want. And now they're bigger RAIDs and they're badder RAIDs and there are, multiple drive RAIDs. But this is something that if you have videos you care about, if you have photos you care about, this is a great on-site backup option that once you set it up, then you just copy things to it and forget it. Because if one of the drives goes bad, you will be notified. You can then buy a replacement drive, slide it in there, and it will then do its thing and mirror itself right back. So please don't buy these single-use or single drive things and the single drive products unless you're going to buy 2 of them, but then you have to manually back them up, or you have to set up a utility and have it connected and have it running. This, once it's done, and it works. And of course, because it's OWC, not only is it a great product, but it also is terrific tech support. So if you have any questions about getting this thing up and running the way you want it, don't worry about it. Call them, text them, chat them. They will get you up and running. But I've become more and more horrified at some of the stories I hear from friends or borderline non-tech friends who have lost so many things that are just irreplaceable because they didn't engage in any kind of backup practice. And we're not going to turn this into a show on backups, even though I know Joe is chomping at the bit to do so, because that's what we do. But this is one thing that you can do to protect yourself, and it's completely scalable. So if you want to go and buy 2 18 gigabyte or terabyte drives, go ahead. Then you'll have lots of storage, but you really can scale it to exactly what you need. And since OWC sells it as with nothing in the bays, you can do that scaling yourself.
That's really nice. I really like having something like that. I have a Synology NAS, which handles all of my data backups and everything for me. So I'm not going to lose any data, but that's not plugged into my Mac. So that means that it's not backed up with Backblaze, which something like this would be.
That's the other point, Rose. Yeah, that's a really good one. But just the idea that, I have one more option to, if a drive goes bad, that there's a much better chance I won't lose anything. So, guys, thank you. That's what I love about these guides. You just never know what you guys are going to pick, and at least one of you have cost me money, probably more. So thank you for that. Stimulating the economy. Before we go, I want to wish. Sorry.
I'm gonna have to figure out if I can get this Magic Spoon cereal here in the UK, or if I'm gonna have to get somebody to bring it over when they come over from the US next.
Yep.
Well, I want to wish you all happy holidays, and I definitely want to give each of you a chance to talk about where you folks can find you, and if they have questions about your picks, or if they want to suggest something of their own to cost you money. Rose, you're up first. Where can folks connect with you?
Well, if you go to rosemaryorchard.com, that's got links to the podcasts that I'm on, the fabulous book that I wrote with the help of Joe, Take Control of Shortcuts, and all the apps that I am behind as well. And of course, there's links to all of my social media pages. And if you want to reach out and chat with me, the best place is probably Mastodon, rosemary@snailedit.social. So there we go.
Thank you, Rose, so much. It's great to see you. Happy holidays.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Kissell, you make frequent appearances here on Mac Voices, but
this is where you can find me. I hang out here, right? So I'm probably for all you know, in Chuck's spare bedroom. So most of what I do involves Take Control books. So takecontrolbooks.com, you can find some books by me, a lot of books by other people, and books that I've edited and so forth. And I do blog posts there. I have a website. I have a blog. Recently, I've been posting once a year ish. I'm really looking forward to my annual post at the end of December, and I'm really giving some serious thought to doing a second post as soon as January. So if you want to know all about me, but only in very infrequent doses, you can go to joekissell.com. I'm on Mastodon, but I barely participate. I just really don't have a lot of time for social media, unfortunately. But you can keep up with my doings at takecontrolbooks.com. Read our blog. There's often some interesting stuff on there.
Thank you, Joe. As always, happy holidays.
Thank you.
Last but absolutely not least, Mr. Mike Schmitz, who stays pretty busy himself from what I'm able to tell. Mike, how do people best connect with you?
Well, since this is video, probably youtube.com/Mike Schmitz. If you're interested in the Obsidian stuff, that is at obsidianuniversity.com. And I have a couple of podcasts, relay.fm/focus with David Sparks and bookworm.fm with Joe Bulig.
Great. And the Bookworm podcast, I think, is always really interesting. I want to see what you guys are reading, and then usually it ends up on my reading list too. So, folks, I'm Chuck Joyner. That is, thanks, Mike. This is the second of our holiday gift guides. We have more coming up for you, and that means more stuff that you are going to want to think about giving or getting. Just a quick reminder, you can find links to everything we picked in the show notes to this episode and also in our annual holiday Flipboard magazine so that you have visual representations, not just text links. Until the next time, as always, thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with MacVoices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices or making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you Mac Voices each month. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.